His Excellency the President and State House were very instrumental in supporting Mirundi publish some of these books. We salute him for serving Uganda in the positions of Presidential Press Secretary and Senior Presidential Advisor on the media matters. Both positions he served with diligence, distinctions and honor. Starting off as a part-time contributor in a wuuno newspaper in 1980s, Joseph's career should be emulated by all the young people in the media industry. He wrote objectively and inquisitively, and he was never cited in any corruption scandals in all the years of his public service. Yet, he was a bold journalist whose raw critique of authority sparked both conversation and controversy. At 60 years, Joseph was still young and energetic. Nonetheless, we would like to thank the doctors of Kisubi Hospital for doing their best to save his life, even if he went the other way. We thank God for the many gifts that he accorded him and which he ably shared with all Ugandans. We will all miss his fun and his passion for speech and his boldness over many issues. We continue to keep his family to our thoughts for the very challenging time you are in. Government will do what we can to stand with you during this trying time. The veteran political commentator with a towering voice is now gone. It is very hard reality to sink it, but yet this has marked the end of an era for a man who has been at the center of the nation's politics for decades. Fare thee well, the bold and fearless advocate for the truth, Joseph Tamale Mirundi. May the Almighty God rest your soul in eternal peace.
Nze Kakande John nkoze ne mukulu Tamale Mirundi okumala ebbanga gwanvu. Twasinkana mu 86 namusanga nga wa mawulire. Nze ngenda okwegatta ku mawulire nga ye yagetandika dda. Twasinkana ku press conference emu nenjuga naye nandabikira nga yali musajja mugezi era nga mawulire agategeera bulungi. Twayogera ate kirungi ne tutegala ne tuzoera nti twali tubeera almost mu area yemu. Okuva olwo ne tukwatagana nga yali muno nga nze ndi mu Stangabo. Nenyamba nnyo kubanga ye yali abaze mawulire nga manyi abantu bangi mu byobufuzi, abakulembeze b'eddiini bangi nga bamanyi. Ate oluvannyuma ne wabanga waliwo ebintu bingi bye twasinkanako okuwandikako ffenna. Yawandiika nnyo ku kakiiko k'eddembe akatibwawo mu kiseera ekyo, ate nange nga bansindiseeyo okuripootinga akakiiko ako. Ate nga twali tukanya mu bintu bingi byali akkirizaamu nange nga nzikirizaamu eddembe ly'abamawulire. Ate nange yansiima nnyo kubanga abadde akyogera bulungi nti yandabirako n'asikirizibwa okuddayo okweyongera okusoma. Omulimu gw'abamawulire abadde aguweesa ekitiibwa, ate yalinga alumirirwa nnyo embeera y'abakozi b'amawulire y'abannamawulire, era yagezaako omu ku bantu abagezaako okukola okuteekawo trade union y'abamawulire, kubanga mu myaka egyo egy'ekinaana nga giza okuggwaako yasooka n'abeera secretary wa Labour mu Uja, oluvannyuma n'afuuka Uja president. Naye mu kiseera ekyo abamawulire baali tebaagala kuwulira kigambo kya trade union, nga balowooza nti okubeera trade union oba wa wansi kubanga ndaba abantu batwala ba trade union nga abalina obuyigizi obwa wansi bakozi aba wansi kubanga manager tebakirizibwa kujoininga union nolwekyo waawo tamale nange n'abalala twali tulowooza nti ajja kuyamba abamawulire okukola trade union ebawe eddembe n'obusobozi okuteesa n'abakozesa naye abamawulire mu kiseera ekyo tebakyagala n'akita naye nga ekigambo ky'abamawulire embeera gye bakoleramu n'okuba nti baali basasulwa kitono bali mu mugubi kyamukwatako nnyo naye nga abadde musajja mumanyi gwa yaddeyo n'asoma ng'ogyeko ekyo yali musajja musomi nnyo wa bitabo yayagala nnyo okumanya politics w'e Kenya era nga buli nnaku agula obupapula bw'amawulire wa Daily Nation okusoma amanye ekyebigenda mu maaso era nga wakunyumiza politics w'e Kenya ng'oyinza okola nti muna Kenya. I've known Tamale Mirundi since 1986. Has been very hardworking and very passionate. He loved his job, but also he was a very bold journalist. I think Tamale Mirundi took his inspiration from a man called Jole George, who was a politician and at the same time a journalist in the 50s, 60s. Jole George was called Namwatulira because he was outspoken and he was able to take on the Katikkiro of Uganda at that time when the Katikkiro and the Rukiiko took a decision which he thought was irrational. And I think Tamale was inspired by the same kind of approach. That you see, even if an institution is seen to be so powerful, don't fear to take on if you believe that that institution is taking decisions or acting in a manner which is anti-people. I think Tamale was down to us. He interacted with a lot of low-down people, and in press conferences with the president, he would raise these issues to the president directly, without fear or favor.
You said he fought towards the improvement of working conditions of journalists through the formation of trade union.
Yes.
Throw more light on that.
In the late 80s, Tamale took up leadership in the Uganda Journalists Association, first as the Secretary for Labour and later as the UJA President. At that stage, the International Federation of Journalists thought that globally journalists ought to be organized in trade unions so that they can address the problem of the poor working conditions. In Uganda, Tamale was a key actor in that process. Unfortunately, majority of journalists in Uganda felt that becoming a member of a trade union was beneath their dignity as professionals. So they did not buy that idea at that time. And at that time, the law did not allow a union that did not have a membership of 1,000 people. So journalists could not form their own independent union. They had to join the other allied workers. And the idea was not acceptable to the majority of journalists.
Lastly, how would you rate his performance as he was working as the private secretary for the president?
I think he did quite well. How? Because unlike his predecessors, he would do, of course, he managed the press team, but also he went out of the way. He was accessible to the media professionals. He would go on TV, he would go on radio, he would pick calls from journalists. There is no way you could call Tamale and he wouldn't pick your calls and tell you if he was in a position to give a feedback. Others in that position see their job as simply managing the presence, their team, and don't want to talk, and they're not very accessible. Sure.
Era muwawula nga sikola eyo gye mukola.